to our father of the province, our leader and our boss, the captain of MV 20880, Governor Philip Tan, sir. To the members of the provincial board present this evening, Board Member Elsa Fuentes Navarro, Board Member Henji Estaño, Board Member Nemesio Lahay-Lahay, my fellow mayors, Mayor Bertoldo Moralion, our brother from Ozamiz, who is now mayor of Don Victoriano, and the adopted mayor of Misamis Occidental, Mayor of Tambulig, Mayor Charlotte D. Panal, my partners in the City Hall, of course, Vice Mayor Bibi Neri and General George Neri, Councilor Lorly Fuentes Cipres, Councilor Katkat Lim, Councilor Cecil Co, Councilor Marcelo Romero II, Councilor Daniel Lau, Councilor Eduardo Cebedo, Councilor Roland Dinky Suizo, Councilor Juanito Sakin, Councilor Anita Linsag, Councilor Marcelian Tapayan, our Vice President for the Association of Barangay Captains, Councilor Jan Doctor, and of course our President, Board Member Sancho Oaminal Jr., SK President, Councilor Erwin Ochavillo, and our IPMR representative, Councilor Erlinda Bation. To my partner in law enforcement, Colonel Police Lieutenant Colonel Sherwin Lapis. Also here, Colonel Gilbert Rolien, our Provincial Director, Colonel Danilo Tumanda, Colonel Ray Tiongson of the 10th IB, businessmen, teachers, our school's division superintendent, Ma'am Jean Veloso, and supervisors, guests, barangay captains, barangay councilors, barangay leaders. I cannot mention all of you one by one because we might not end tonight. Of course, my family who is here with us today, my grandmother who just celebrated her 92nd birthday last week, Lola Liling, my brother who is the official representative of our Deputy Speaker. My brother is, to be honest, he is not usually seen in the spotlight, but he is 3 times smarter than me. But I proclaim that I am 2 times more handsome. Attorney Henry Oaminal Jr., my uncles, my cousins, our city administrator, Attorney Daniel Luis Macalino, Attorney Sam Norman Fuentes, and Attorney Hannah Abonales, ladies and gentlemen, department heads, my fellow workers in government, my dear Ozamiznos, good afternoon. 150 days is both a long time and a short time. It is too long for slackers and corrupt individuals to stay in office, but way too short for workers and dedicated servants to reform a city. 150 days ago, we began our work to fulfill our campaign promises to you all to start bringing in a new Ozamiz city that is thriving and progressing.
Yes.
Tonight, I am here to reaffirm that promise and to report to everyone how far we've come. We will work harder to bring the development that every Ozamiznon deserves. We all remember that for many years, Ozamiz City was a haven for drugs, criminalities, and corruption. We were the home of syndicates, warlords, and mafia-like organizations. These thugs have kept our people at home in fear. This administration places peace and order as one of its top priorities. In June, during my inaugural address, we promised an initial 35 million budget from the local government for our local law enforcers. Thus, we have started equipping our police with added tools that will be used in their operations. Last month, we have turned over 3 brand new, well-equipped 4x4 patrol pickups that are ready to roam even the areas in Ozamiz City without roads. These are not just regular pickups, but heavily modified trucks capable of easily ramming barricades and vehicles of outlaws in the event of a chase. Kulang na lang ibutang sa likod ang mga machine gun, which we will purchase next year. By the first week of December, we will again procure an additional 3 more units of this kind of vehicle to increase the efficiency and visibility of our police officers within this city. And by next year, we will have at least 10 of these road monsters. This will pose as a threat to criminals. Within minutes, our local police will be able to apprehend those who want to disturb the peace we have in this city. With the view of keeping the morale of our police force high, we have ensured them of the local government's support. We recognize that the life of a policeman is hard. Like everyone, they have families to feed and children to send to school. This while risking their lives against drug lords who are willing to pay them substantial amounts in exchange of their integrity. Hence, we increased the allowance of our city policemen from 500 monthly to 5,950 pesos per month so that they may know that a good man will always have his reward. I believe that this is the biggest, if I'm not mistaken, not only in Mindanao, but both in Visayas and Mindanao and many in the areas of Luzon. Comparing data from July to December 2018 to July to October of this year, crimes committed significantly decreased from around 129 to 63, down by 51%. For this, we have to commend our police force, which was then led by Colonel Jovi Espinido, and now the equally strong and aggressive Police Lieutenant Colonel Sherwin Lapis. You know, some of you may still doubt the abilities and skills of Colonel Lapis, but test him if you may. Colonel, show them what you're capable of. Ipakita kung naay mga mubalik nga mga sindikato, Colonel, ikaw na'y bahala unsaon pagpatilaw. Special thanks also to the very active deputies. Of course, Captain Stano, Captain Arazo, Captain Hilot, and Captain Acosta. In the next few months, we will continue to invest in more modern technological devices like brand new, better quality CCTV cameras in our streets and highways, communication gadgets, armored shields for our frontliners, and the like. Anytime soon, we are just waiting that the schedule will be finalized. We will send some of our troops for the special weapons and tactics or SWAT training to better improve their skills. Moving to social services, our campaign promise was to introduce a from birth to death assistance program. Gikan sa pagpanganak, hangtod sa pagkamatay. Now we have begun to make good on those promises, starting with the Ozamiz free hospitalization program. In the previous administration, the government was only able to cater to 509 clients in 2017 and 623 clients in 2018 through minimal partial financial aid averaging 5,000 pesos. From the date we launched this program on July 8 up to November 15, 2019 alone, Ozamiz has upped these figures and served close to 1,000 client beneficiaries. The age each got ranges from 1,000 pesos to 400,000 pesos, depending on the billing. For the said period, we have spent a total of approximately 16.5 million pesos. This amount of money was paid to the different hospitals to the relief of several Ozamiznos who no longer have to spend for hospitalization. Moreover, this amount saved by our beneficiaries helped boost our economy. As you can see, this program does not benefit the patients and their families alone. While they are the direct beneficiaries, the businessmen, you are all indirectly benefited. You see, every family is trying to save for something, whether it's appliances or materials for houses, food for special gatherings, education, and many more. But when emergency situations arise, like when someone is hospitalized, these family savings are usually spent for bills. And you do not even know, you would not even know that you lost a customer. With this program, the family's savings goes to where the family desires it to be. This amount helps fuel our economy and increase the spending power of every Ozamiznon family. And I would like to thank the private hospitals here on Ozamiz who have cooperated and showed their full support with this program. I was told we have here Dr. Jesse Ayop and our representative of the family of doctors, the Doctors Feliciano. On burial assistance, we have spent a total of approximately 2.1 million pesos. This figure represents more than 100 Ozamiz families. And this amount also goes to the other industries of our economy as well. But not only that, before I got elected for mayor, I ordered 2 elf trucks designed to carry people. Luckily, I won, or these trucks would have been carrying drums of fuel and steel bars to the project sites. But since you placed us here, I have assigned these 2 private Ascenso trucks to provide free transport to grieving families during the burial of their loved ones. As the leader of this city, I call on everyone to retain the values we ought to hold on dearly. These people have sacrificed so much for us. They deserve our admiration and support. My grandmother, Lola Liling, has imparted to me her faith in God. And without her prayers, I would not become the person I am today. I would not be here. For the senior citizens, we have released a total of 708,000 pesos as maagang pamasko to our lolas and lolos who have participated in the Senior Citizen Month celebration. This will augment their funds to buy medicines and other necessities. In time, we will find ways on how to tap our senior citizens who are still very much willing to help in the development of our city. For education, we prioritize the need of better equipping our public schools. As promised during the campaign, this administration will work hand in hand and in partnership with our representative, Deputy Speaker Henry Oaminal. As Congressman Oaminal made possible the rise of numerous new buildings in this city, school buildings in particular, the local government committed on complementing these projects. During the ceremonial turnover of the different new school buildings last July, I promised that for this year 2019, the Ascenso Ozamiz administration will purchase modern IT equipment to cope with the times, the facilities used by our teachers in educating our children. Depending on the school's needs, we have allotted 100,000 worth each for the 44 different elementary school and 150,000 worth each for the 19 integrated schools and high school, with a total of 7,250,000 worth of IT equipment. Let me tell all of you here, especially to our dear principals, our school supervisors, and especially Ma'am Jean Veloso. Ma'am, the items are now ready for distribution. We have more than 200 TV sets ready already, and some couches, benches, printers. You know, some ordered 53 inches TVs and some 43. I think the biggest is for 53. Tomorrow, we will bring all this to the Ozamiz City National High School for our ceremonial turnover. And I'm inviting the principals to please be there so that you will accept this IT equipment. We will also turn over tomorrow the allowances of our students who are undergoing the NMRA training, and also their needs such as toiletries and I think medicines. For our scholarship program, by the first quarter of 2020, we will be starting the application process through an entrance examination to be conducted by the local government. As I have said in my inauguration address, this city will not be making any kinds of unnecessary loans. Majority of our infrastructure needs will be funded through our working Congressman, Deputy Speaker Henry Oaminal. The city of Ozamiz is grateful because billions worth of projects are finally coming our way. Among these, of which I am most excited about, is the Ozamiz Airport Modernization Project that once completed, we hope to have international flights here in 5 to 8 years' time. And of course, you know, we haven't finalized yet how to name this, but now we call it the Ascenso Ozamiz Mega Sports Complex, designed by the world-renowned architect June Palafox and his associates. This will be a 34-hectare development. So we start with the construction of the arena with a 20 to 25,000 capacity. Remember, during the campaign, I told you, Puhon, mag-meeting ka, di na mo magdalag paypay because we will have a fully air-conditioned arena. We will start with the construction of the said arena, followed by the courts and equipment that will enable us to host soon. Hopefully, in 6 years' time, we can host the Palarong Pambansa here in Ozamiz City. And again, special thanks to our very own congressman for the initial 200 million for 2020 for the construction of the said arena. More than this, as many of you know or may not know, here in Ozamiz, we have a land area of 17,000 hectares. We are as big as Quezon City, but the city proper occupies only less than 1/8 of the total land area of Ozamiz. Can we zoom this out? Zoom out para makita how small the city proper is. That is only 1/8, less than 1/8 of the city proper. The plan is to build this new township or this new city center away from the existing one. This is part of what architect Palafox is on the process of conceptualizing. In the years and decades to come, we hope for a booming economy that includes developments centered around the mega sports complex, where new residential and commercial opportunities are expected to be created. In Barangay Malaubang, where the DPWH, through again our congressman, has approved a 15 million budget for the construction of free homes for our urban poor, the city government, to complement that 15 million, the city government has likewise reprogrammed the same amount of 15 million to build more houses that would be given to the urban poor community. This is part of the 2019 budget because it has been reprogrammed already. And we hope to bid it in the last month of the year. In our City Hall building, the construction of the individual offices of our Vice Mayor and our councilors is almost done. By next year, hopefully not next year but by December, if you want to visit our councilors, they have their own big offices already, bigger than the offices of the congressmen in Batasan. I hope that they will serve good coffee as well. This one right here, kining gitabunan og orange, that is a surprise for you for Valentine's Day. Diyan na raw dadalhin ni Atty. Macalino ang kadate niya ngayong Valentine's. Pati si Konsehal Dinky, sabi niya, ipapa-video niya ang first date niya at the new Prospera Park. On barangay affairs, as we Filipinos give very much importance to culture and tradition, it is deemed necessary for us to celebrate fiestas, araws, and other cultural activities at least once a year. As promised during the campaign, in order for our barangay officials not to waste any more time coming to the City Hall asking for financial aid, we committed 200,000 pesos per year for each barangay. And as you can see, last August, we distributed the checks to the different barangay captains already, totaling approximately 10 million pesos for donations and assistance to the barangays. Pakpak po mo taga-barangay. Mura mong nakulangan sa 200,000. Mga barangay captains, asaman mo? Oh, after I give my message, I'm inviting you to come here to receive additional 100,000 each for the 42 or 42 barangays who submitted their requests. In line with our promise of good governance, we have started making changes at the City Hall. On our first day of office, on July 1, I immediately issued an order terminating the contracts of the 500 job order employees. Some of them we could not even find. Now we have cut to just 194 job orders. And these already include our traffic enforcers, our police auxiliaries, job order employees who we provided to aid the different national agencies here in Ozamiz, and some are under my office. Every single one of them are properly monitored to ensure that they are working. Although by January next year, there is a big chance that many might not be renewed and many may be replaced. Last July, we tapped the Development Academy of the Philippines, or the DAP, to conduct the necessary trainings to enhance the capabilities of not just the elected officials, but of the regular employees as well, particularly the department heads and the division chiefs, to ensure that they perform their duties effectively and in accordance with best practices and standardized processes to do away with corruption and inefficiencies. We have started investigating the questionable transactions of the previous administration and issued several show cause orders to the regular employees who appeared to have been involved. I'll just remove it to make it easier. Take, for instance, the procurement of equipment. On the last days of December 2018, the previous administration approved the purchase of DRRM and waste management equipment. The former city council rushed the process, and eventually, the sangguniang panlalawigan of our province disapproved the authorization of funds. But this did not stop them from pushing through with this anomalous transaction. Thankfully, one of our lawyers, now Councilor Marcelian C. Tapayan, found the irregularity in the procedure, and was able to successfully secure a temporary restraining order from the Regional Trial Court. Let's give a round of applause also to Councilor Attorney Tapayan. When we assumed office, the new City Council under Vice Mayor Bibi Neri started investigating, and they passed a resolution declaring the said transaction invalid, thus urging the city mayor, myself, not to push through with it. I, on the other hand, immediately and personally checked the documents, and I had my special assistant, Mr. Jefferson Go, call up fair suppliers, and here are a few of what we discovered. Per purchase order number 359, dated April 11, 2019, and duly signed by the former acting city mayor, the city government has consented to buy a brand new Hyundai Country bus at 5,390,000 pesos. Can we see the signature? Pwede paubos? Duly approved. Up para makita ang purchase order. Up. Purchase order. However, based on a quotation from Hyundai Commonwealth, another authorized dealer of such unit, addressed to the local government of Ozamiz, duly signed by their account specialist, the same equipment having the same specification is only priced at 3,450,000 pesos. Hence, for the country bus alone, a difference of 1,940,000 pesos. On another purchase order, can we go to the next purchase order? With respect to their attempt to purchase a dump truck for the collection of garbage in the city, the former administration assented to acquire a brand new six-wheeler Isuzu dump truck for 5,970,000 pesos, as evidenced by the purchase order duly signed by the acting city mayor. Up para makita ang purchase order. Up. PO number 359. When in fact the same truck is only priced at 3,935,000 in accordance with the quotation furnished to the city government of Ozamiz by Isuzu Cagayan, another authorized dealer. Thus, a difference of 2,035,000 pesos. For these two units alone, there is an overpricing of 3,975,000 pesos. Two units lang, they made a purchase of more than 10 units. Ang uban, mas dagko pag amount. Where is that money supposed to go? Kinsa man na? I don't know kung kinsa ng tawhana. So why on earth would I pursue such transaction and pay the supplier when I know they are massively overpriced? No one can force me to approve a voucher and sign a check for such an unscrupulous transaction. That's why you're seeing HSO trucks collecting your garbage. Because my father, our congressman, my mother, Attorney Pearl Grace, and my siblings, Attorney Althea Isobel and Attorney Henry Jr., have agreed to lend for free our private company trucks to dispose our trash, as we cannot compromise corrupt practices for better services. Investigations are now ongoing, and cases and disciplinary actions are filed against those involved. Likewise, We have invited 2 retired Civil Service Commission directors to work with us to find the best solution for our HR problems. As I always tell you, my fellow workers in this local government, if you are serving faithfully and are qualified, do not be afraid because you will not lose your jobs. But if you are slacking and are unqualified, then you better prepare. This city will have to make and take the hard decision so that it can maintain a workforce that is competent and qualified. I cannot wait to see the day when our city human resource is firmly established without any anomalies. We want our personnel to conform to the highest standards of HR practices that our people deserve. We will strive to obtain that prestigious ISO certification. As I said before, the cost of Ascenso is high. Some would say it is impossible to accomplish it. But with the cooperation of all stakeholders, this city can move forward and address the needs of the people. It only needs good governance and strong political will. As long as the funds are utilized properly and legitimately, slowly we can rise. Thus, I ordered the City Treasurer's Office to be firm in collecting taxes and what is due to the government. In July, we started the crackdown on businesses operating illegally or those without business permits. Since then, we have closed 61 business establishments compared to 0 last year and 0 the previous year. We have filed cases against defiant businessmen that tried to challenge our will to enforce the law. Our policy with the business permit is to make sure that there is full compliance. We believe that the standards set by law are there to protect the people. Requirements such as those from the City Engineering Office and from the City Health Office ensure that business establishments conform to the minimum standards needed by the people. Likewise, the taxes collected funds our government. This money is the contribution of our businessmen to the city's progress. We see a great increase in the collection of business tax for the period of July to November 15 of this year compared to the previous years. From July 1 to November 15, 2019, we have seen a significant increase of 19% of our tax collections compared to the preceding year, which is equivalent to approximately 8,061,000 pesos. With good governance, these taxes will truly benefit the people. Apart from this, we have witnessed the unprecedented increase in business registration as well as of its renewals. As shown in the graph, the number of business registrations for July to December tripled compared to 2017 and doubled compared to 2018. In 2017, for the same period, there were 119 new businesses. In 2018, 192. And this year, we have a total of 383 new businesses from July 1 alone, a 99.47% increase. This is despite the fact that the amendments to our local tax code are still on process. To our businessmen, I am here to reaffirm that promise. On the other hand, For this year, we have witnessed an overwhelming number of business registrations renewals. For 27 and 2018, 31 and 33 businesses respectively renewed their businesses on the period July 1 to December. However, for 2019, that is when we assumed office, 329 businesses have renewed their registration, which is equivalent to an increase in 897%. And this data is just until November 15 alone. We commend the efforts of our Treasurer, Ms. Josephine Riquelme, and the Permits and Licensing Division, together with the rest of their respective staffs, for stepping up their efforts to collect taxes. Let's give them a big round of applause. The figures that you heard earlier, the aids that we gave to the barangays, to the families that we used to pay the hospitals and the funeral parlors, all these came from the collection of taxes. Furthermore, income from our city's businesses was up. From July to November 2018, our city economic enterprise posted an income of approximately 15.2 million. Under our administration, we earned around 6 million more at 22 million pesos compared to the same period last year. And for that, we recognize the efforts of our City Economic Enterprise Office headed by Mr. Jonathan Rubio. We recognize them for their efforts in improving the city's income insofar as the city's businesses are concerned. Staying true to our commitment to reduce some fees, I recently approved a new city ordinance created by our city council, slashing the amount needed to be paid by motor cab drivers for their franchise. From 2,510 per annum, now they only have to pay 1,750 for the next 3 years. Dili na per annum. The amount of savings they can have can now be spent for their family's needs. But this does not mean that anyone can apply for franchise. Of course, we will continue to regulate the franchise, that the permits that we will issue to minimize the worsening traffic situation and congestion in our city streets. You all can be assured that this government has zero tolerance against corruption. Within the first 150 days, we see multiple administrative cases filed, one of which was against an errant member of the city treasurer's office who collected and pocketed money to the injury of taxpayers and our businessmen. What he did was he went to the businesses, he said he will take care of the business permits and asked for 40,000 pesos. Our newly formed Personnel Discipline and Grievance Committee, headed by Attorney Mars Tapayan, has already transmitted their recommendation for the dismissal of the said employee. It is now in my office for implementation. Let's give the committee a round of applause. Our quest for good governance is not limited within the walls of the City Hall. We are also urging and forcing our barangay offices to follow as well. A barangay official who assumed as barangay captain after the latter was elected as city councilor of Ozamiz, Councilor Junjun Saki. his successor was reported by her fellow councilors for falsification of an official document when she signed and passed to the City Council a resolution for supplemental budget. Now, the City Council has suspended her. She is now serving her 2-month preventive suspension while awaiting the decision of her pending administrative case. In due time, you will see decisions of these cases released, and we will make sure that justice will prevail. More cases will be filed soon. Most of the people here today are leaders or influencers, whether in your businesses, in your offices, in your barangays, in your communities, or even in your poroks. Each is blessed with a unique opportunity to make an impact that will alter the course of the lives of your employees, subordinates, and other people to do something good. As mayor of this wonderful city, I call on everyone to take part in building Ozamiz for our own and the next generation. Let us take some time to thank God for protecting us. A few years ago, no one would have thought that we would be given the chance to take part in building the new Ozamiz. But here we are. Recently, Mindanao was struck with successive devastating earthquakes. But despite all those, we have been protected and our city suffered no casualty. God has been good to us. Before I end, I'd like to share with you this quote from our President Rodrigo Roa Duterte during her State of the Nation address in 2017. And I quote, "Believe me, it is easier to build from scratch than to dismantle the rotten and rebuild upon its rubble. Let us work together and lay a new foundation in which a better Philippines can be reconstructed. Help me build a better tomorrow." My dear Ozamistons, 150 days have passed. A lot has been done, but there are many more things to do. I thank my partner in this local government, of course, our boss, Governor Philip, our Congressman Henry Oaminal, Vice Mayor Bibineri, the councilors, City Administrator Attorney Macalino, my consultants, Attorney Sam Norman Fuentes, Attorney Hannah Abonales, my staff, and my fellow public workers. Rest assured that as your chosen leaders, we will continue to do our tasks diligently, honestly, faithfully, and to the best of our abilities. We continue to offer ourselves in service to you in the remaining 945 days of our term, or even so. God bless Ozamiz City